All right, hello guys. So the second part of the video has to do with drop rolls, run out rolls, and some just simple tweaks I think we need to make to the production planning. So I've picked a order here. What is it? It's 3161. And it's 44 by, okay. I want to set up a new job for this. So one question I have right out the gate, right out the gate, why does this pop up? Why would we ever be in a job and create another job or order number from this? This part I don't understand. This should autofill. Better yet, I want this to autofill because now I actually don't know what the order number was. Well, I have it on a whole other screen. That's why I know 3161. That really needs to autofill. There's no reason why this part right here shouldn't autofill. Job type. Obviously, you can't. There's no way you guys could do this because you would have. We're the only ones that would know this, so this is fine. Sheet or job. Pretend I already have my inventory picked. Machine. Yep, I would have to pick one. That's no problem there. Required job. So I know what this means. If I need another job, it's required, so it links it. Let's see, we're going to be just pulling this straight from the inventory. So let's say these three screens really is what we need to work on and make easier, right? So we've got input, output, and drop rolls. We want to do some automation on this and really make it user friendly. Right now, it feels like there's a lot of work that we're doing on this that isn't really necessary. So for selecting rolls, I know we've talked to you guys about this before, not having this be relevant at all, and this truly isn't relevant at all. If you look at the order, it was for a 10 point. We've got 6 craft, all these different things here, and it's all these different pages that it's not relevant. So now we've got to close this, and how do we do this? Select. We'll actually have to pick it from here. So now I've got to look in another screen at my inventory and do it, which right now, because we're doing a lot of automation outside of the program, it's okay, but it would be nice if I could do like in here, and you got between or equal to, not or between. I can pick some rolls. So let's just say 5,000 to 5,010. That's okay. That's pretty cool because now I can click them and go through them. What I don't have here though is equal. I don't believe I have here is caliper. So it would be nice to have another screen here that said caliper, right? Between, I have the same kind of filters, so I can go through my calipers and see it. And then obviously I pick my rolls and go from there. Pause this for a second. Another thing that would be nice here is maybe my order information up here, because right now I find myself having to do, well, even now I can't do it because I'm not even on the right page. I've got to click on this one, scroll up here, click down here, and then look through it. And yes, you can argue, well, aren't you going to get used to this if you do it a lot? Yeah, well, I don't think we should be able to. I think some of this information should just be right here as a quick reminder, so when you're filtering, you can see it, right? You start filtering through your roles of what you want, and you try to pick, and you have a constant reminder up here of what it is. All right. So I'm back. I've picked my role. I found it. It's 5126 as well. Let me just go to 5126. Here it is. It's a 12 point. And I add it to the order. Now I scroll down, I look at my weight, and I can tell you right here it's a little overweight, right? So you've got total weight 2,500 pounds, but the order only calls for 1,800 pounds, right? My weight control is weight. Oh, this is another thing too, guys. The QC right here that Rubin or CSR inputs doesn't automatically fill in. Now it did, right? Because it defaults to weight. But if this was at sheet here, this wouldn't be sheet, it would be weight, right? So these two things aren't tied in together. All right, so going back, I got to add my outputs. So this was a great addition here, right? 42 and 12 point. I like that. That was good. Question I have is why doesn't the part number pull up, right? This has nothing to do with the role I'm picking. This is finished inventory. So if I'm using a 12 point, right, if the job calls for a 12 point, or in this case, what was it actually? It was, gosh dang it, hold on. 10 point, if this job calls for a 10 point, then this should just autofill 10 point. We don't, I mean, all these keystrokes add time and effort and everything else. Choose location. Okay, sheet. We know. This makes it really hard without two screens. Okay, so. Okay, I'm looking at my other one here. 44. 0.25 by length. 36. 5/16. So what's 5/16? Gosh dang it. Calculator. Divide by 16. All right, 3125. 125. Stacks. It's only gonna be one stack because it's coming out with a sheeter. Quantity. We're gonna want to do the whole thing, which is 5,000. So right here I've got one question, right? Why would I ever have to enter the approximate pallet height? You've got the average caliper here, right? Or you've got the part number, right? Why can't at very minimum be on top suggested pallet height, and you would be basing off the part number, right? You'd be basing off this number every time. Suggested, right here you could have something that comes up, suggested pallet height for part number 10, and then it would show underneath in gray or something. In this case it would show 50 inches, right? Let me make sure I'm doing my math right. 0.09 times 5,000, yeah, 50 inches. And at that point, you can choose to cheat the customer or not cheat the customer, or short or not short it. Because right here, I can see where you guys are going to say, well, there's a conflict here, because this isn't the same as this. We need to always go off the part number. I don't mind if you don't fill it in for me, but you got to do the math up here for me. If I put 2 stacks, divide it by 2, right? I don't know how to go back in this Mac. But if it's 2, then that number right here should say 25, suggested based off the part number 25. So you're just dividing it off the stacks. All right, so my quantity updated, which is good. It's nice how it does that. All right, save and new. So close that. So we're only using 1,900 pounds of 2,500 pounds. Yeah, there's a size differential, I should say here. It's not, or I should say here. So I'm losing 4 inches of trim, which is about 10%. But 10% of this, it's still not going to make a difference, right? It's not going to make a significant difference, I should say. When I say that is, I mean it's not going to be. I'm still going to have a leftover roll from this. So what we were suggesting, or what Ruben was suggesting, which I thought was a good idea, and we need to really do, because it's too difficult for our guys, is to be able to somehow, usually this comes up when there's like 5 or 6 rolls, but even here, when I hit drop roll, it should either ask me, do you want to run the roll out? Or maybe you click something here and it will ask me the question, do you want to run this roll out? Or do you want to drop the roll? Right? If I say click here, wherever I'm making up, like there's a sign here, drop roll, it auto calculates the footage. Because right here, see, you don't have length on here. That's really the problem. Because this will always be accurate with length. If this was, because I know how much feet I'm taking off the roll, right? If I did, where's my calculator at? Quick calculation. 36 inches, 313, divided by 12, right? So I'm sheeting it to 3 feet and whatever that is, 0.02. If I'm running it to 4,167 sheets, there's going to be 609 feet on this thing, on this roll, right? Excuse me, that's how much this is going to take. Excuse me, that's how much this is going to take off of this roll. So you already have the length here. Obviously the size, the caliper is not going to change. The basis weight's not going to change. The roll size of 40 inches isn't going to change. So why can't you drop that in here under the drop roll if that's suggesting that's what I wanted to do? You should be able to do that. Now you're going to argue, oh, it's not accurate. That's fine. I'll check it when it comes, right? When I drop it, I'll check it. But right now we're having this guy spend all this time in here adding these rolls and trying to come up with all of this stuff when he shouldn't have to, when it's predicted anyways. Ruben suggests that we just do 1 foot, 1 linear feet, 1 linear pound, and all this stuff, which is good. That's good too. But I think we can go a step farther and actually give a good estimate. There's no reason why we can't. Your only thing you're missing here is length. So, excuse me. And all you would do is calculate, convert this to feet and times that by quantity, and you would have the total length there. So let's say, suggesting you don't want to drop the roll. You want to run the roll out. So I clicked here and it gives me the option, you want to drop the roll or run it out. I say I want to run it out. When I say I want to run it out, all it asks me, it only asks me 2 questions. What length? Well, actually, no, it'd be, 2 questions. What length? And I guess how many sheets per pallet. But I think you guys even calculate that. You guys calculate how many sheets per pallet, and I'll go off your calculation. So really just what length. I tell you what length, I hit enter, and it goes to, at that point it would go to an output, right? It would go out to an output down here. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm saving a significant amount of time. So I set up my job how I want to, right? And then after that, as far as you've simplified what I'm gonna do to this roll. Run it, don't run it, or drop it, or run it through, and it's simplified as possibly as much as we could have it simplified. We could do the same thing with the rewinder as well. I don't have a rewinder job up, but let me put one up real quick. It's the same basic principle. 3161. Oh damn, what was that roll? It was 5126. Add. Okay, where the hell did it go? Did I add it? Select. 5126. I didn't add it, that's why. Alright, add. Alright, so there's my roll.
Part number again should show up automatically, or it'd be nice if it would show up automatically. There's no reason it shouldn't have. And then here, roll width. I mean, obviously I have to put this in, which is going to be, say, 36 inches just for the sake of it. 36 and 5/16, 0.325. And length. You know what? Questioning too if this could come up even, right? You know the total amount, or maybe a suggested amount here, because you know the finished size. I don't know if you know it off this screen, but you should know it. You should. I mean, here's the order. I mean, you should be able to tell me what the total length I should need, so I don't have to do it myself. I'll do it for a second. It's 44.25 times, divided by 12 times 5,000. All right, 18437, 18437, 18437. I'll have to enter this in, of course, for quantity 1. Same thing here, right? Give me a suggested diameter. I'm probably going to want to play with it, possibly. Maybe I won't, maybe I will. But I need a suggested diameter here, right? And then I could choose to do exactly what it says or ignore it. Because right now the guy's got to go to a whole different screen and calculate that when he shouldn't. You're already calculating it. Just give me a suggested one up here. Based off, again, based off the part number. Always based off the part number. I don't know what this is going to be. I'm just guessing 40. All right. Why do we have choose purchase order? I don't know why we have that. It's not really relevant. Order item. This is going to this is going to be the item number, I believe, or the job number. Which is, what the hell is the job number? I know that's why you guys have it filled in right here. Again, why couldn't this auto update? 3136. What the hell? Oh, 361. That's why. 3161. There we go. And I don't even know what this links to, where this is actually linking it to, because I'm already in the job. So there you go. And now the same thing should happen here, right? This actually is easier because you already have the length. So if I pick run the roll out, what size do I want? Right, I would hit here, run or add or run or drop the roll. I would click drop the roll. All this stuff should minus out, should fill this automatically. If I put add it or run it, it should give me an option to say what size you want to run it to. And I say, okay, I want to run it to 2/18s. You have all the other information there. I mean, if I look here, everything's going to be the same. You're going to have the item weight, the part numbers, what it originally was. Even the vendor roll number, you can pull that information down. The location, we choose to keep it maybe in putbacks, right? Purchase order, that'd be nice if that could pull down because that's the original roll. Bill of lading number, that'd be nice if that auto-filled too. The vendor roll number, maybe you put a P in front of it so it doesn't let you duplicate it. There's really no reason why you can't put it in here, right, as predicted. And then our supervisors go ahead and check it. But for the production planning, it'd be significantly, it would make it way easier. We're talking about 10 minutes of job saving.